Munir Ajam with another very short videos on definition and term we use in project management that can often create some confusions. This topic on this video is about shareholders versus stakeholders, and maybe we can also touch on the project team. The word shareholders is that basically anyone who owns share in an organization or owner. So basically partners, an organization that is a private company that could have partners. So the partners would be shareholders, or any public company with that basically that sells shares through the stock market. Of course, you have shareholders that will own shares in these companies. So in other words, as far as we are concerned in project management, the word shareholder refers to the owner of the organization that is developing a project. Okay, stakeholder, which we don't talk about much about shareholders, because often on large organization, I mean, unless you are working with small organization where the shareholders are also involved in the management of the company, usually big corporation when they work on project, those shareholders, most of them we never even see or know who they are. That brings us to stakeholder, which is a term we use heavily on project. And stakeholders is anyone usually who has a stake. I mean, obviously the word stake, who not to hold the stake, obviously. And steak here we don't mean steak that you eat for dinner or for lunch if you're not vegetarian. A steak is that S-T-A-K-E. I guess most project people will know that. Stakeholders are people, typically we define them as who are involved or have an interest in the project. Now, what does it mean? Break it down further, is that a project stakeholders are the people who are involved, which is typically mean the project team. They are the one who directly involved in a project manager and project team. You have other vendors and suppliers. And of course, you have stakeholders other than the project team who are affected by the project. For example, if you build a plant or a chemical plant or a refinery or a landfill in near a residential area, obviously we will consider the resident to be stakeholders. Often government agencies, permitting agencies are stakeholders. Management are stakeholders. So basically stakeholders are anyone who is involved or affected by the project or can affect your project. So these are the three groups of stakeholders. In our definition, obviously, many other people might have a slightly different definition, but in general, this is simple, that stakeholders is anyone involved or impacted or influence or can influence a project. Obviously, a project stakeholder have an important role on the project, and they need to be utilized and consulted with. Now, sometimes we make the confusion of thinking of stakeholder as a customer, or stakeholder as management. Obviously, management is a stakeholder, customer is also a stakeholder, but so are you. If you are a project manager or project team member, you are a stakeholder. Also, you must consider, we often make a mistake in some project management, is that we don't consider the non-obvious stakeholder. Now, what do we mean by non-obvious stakeholder? Those that may not seem obvious, obviously, but basically, I guess those who don't have direct involvement, and basically, I will give you a quick example, actually a good story that goes with this video. It's a long story, but I will make very short and I will zoom in only on a part. In a movie that is about, I think, called The Towering Inferno, where a tower got burned and many people get killed in the movie. At the last minute of the movie, the captain for the firefighting team basically looked at the architect of the building, and which was a high tower. And of course, this is about 50-year-old movie, maybe, or 40 years ago. And he told, the firefighter says to the architect, one of these days, you are going to kill 1,000 people in one of these buildings if you do not ask us how to build it. Yeah? So basically here the firefighter does not only want to be consulted about potentially how maybe we can put the fire down, but as obviously how this building should be, how these type of building, high-rise towers, should be built with the mindset, obviously from a fire perspective. In case of a fire, how can you evacuate people safely, and of course shut down the fire, or distinguish a fire very quickly with limited damage, at least to people's own lives. Maybe property is a different story. So this is a great line from the movie. It's just the last minute. Is that obviously in this case the non-obvious stakeholder is a firefighter captain, because as architect and engineer, sometimes we might not think about those people or consult with them as we build projects, because maybe we don't think they can add value. I think over the years it have changed, and I would assume a lot of these concepts have been built into codes for building, especially with high towers and other type of facilities. Have a great day. Until another one.